Happy New Year, Aquarius. It's the first month, 2019. Let's do our January reading. We start out, as usual, with the Book of I Ching. For those of you who have not joined me for a reading, the I Ching card, the Native Spirit deck, and the Surrender deck are all overall guidance, general advice, the theme, and some love from your spirit guides. So like I said, the Book of I Ching, card 16, Enthusiasm. Effective leaders do not seek to shape opinion or change minds, but rather they rouse popular sentiment into real action. Like rolling thunder, music can open a mystical gateway to emotions that draw people together with a united heart. The people then rise in enthusiasm for a cause, an undertaking, or even a war. What kind of leaders, Aquarius? Effective leaders. And they do not seek to shape opinions or change minds, but rather they rouse popular sentiment into action. Rather than trying to control people or manipulate them, speak your truth and let it inspire and bring together who it may. Be open to whatever outcome is meant for you. With the Native Spirit deck, all three cards, deep orange, deep red, and some yellow, a little bit of green. It's going to be a pretty big thing for you guys this month, just looking at the colors of your cards, to really do a Reiki session, some sort of chakra balancing or a cleansing session to be able to flow easy with the emotions and the energy this month. Medicine man, medicine woman, medicine man. When this card chooses you, when it comes out in your reading, it is saying that you are at the advent of healing, emotional, physical, and mental wounds. And healing needs to occur deep within you. And that has to take place before you will see the healing in your physical reality. And before you can taste it, touch it, smell it. It's gotta happen. It's gotta occur within you at a very deep emotional soul level. Spirit Keeper of the West. There's no restrictions in that card, yet there's some shadows in the trees. The sun, how it beams, the rays, all almost hugging the landscape, reassuring, don't worry. If we let go of the old, if you let your leaves fall, I promise more will grow. Letting go of the old and initiating that process of illumination. Aquarius, you need to gather your inner resources. Trust your heart. Remember that times will be tough. It's going to be hard to let go of some things, but chaos brings positive change. Think about it. Doesn't all change come from a time of turmoil? It's after that turmoil that the change happens and we accept it. We burn ditches to promote new growth of the grass in the ditch. Leaves fall from the trees and new ones emerge in the spring. The circle of life. Spirit of Fire. This card is all about facing your fears and breaking out of old patterns. Just because you've always done certain things in certain ways doesn't mean that you can't start new routines. Think about fire. Fire maybe always has kept you warm. That's just always been what fire has done for you in the past. But fire could also burn your house down. It could give you third-degree burns. Finding your balance and understanding that things don't always have to go the same as they have before. That you can start those new routines and clear out the old in order to make room for the new. Then we have your surrender deck. You guys have 2 cards. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Cultivate gratitude. Don't demand it. Do the good deeds that you do because they inspire you and there's purpose or passion in your heart for it. Don't do them because it will draw in a good crowd. It will draw a lot of attention to you, or people will be indebted to you. They'll do what you want. No good deed is ever received or viewed as a gift if it comes from this shallow place within you called your ego. Perhaps it's somebody doing this to you. Understanding that it's a form of control. Surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Take action. Aquarius, you are typically excellent at creating a reality out of the ideas that you have come to you. Perhaps you've been tossing around a new addition to your story. Maybe you've been wanting to switch up your entire career. Maybe you want to move to an entirely new part of the country or a new country altogether. Whatever it is, your spirit guides are saying now is the time. Take that leap. Then up in the top right, we have your work, career, and finance. The Emperor reversed, the Ten of Swords reversed, and the Justice card. The Emperor reversed. Using your emotions rather than logic or facts to steer you down your path. While following your heart isn't always seen as a negative thing, it is sometimes risky to not have that head and heart balance. Kind of like if you just up and quit your job because of emotion, but don't have a backup job or a backup plan or way to pay your bills. Maybe you are spending too much time at work because you genuinely love what you do. But in turn, you end up ruining your relationship. It's all about finding that balance. The Ten of Swords reversed. So if you can find that balance, you will transition into the Ten of Swords reversed, which is a great energy. He's the card that says, this is that card that says, congratulations, you survived. We told you that this too shall pass, and now you can enjoy the new and improved, less stressful or full of strife environment. The Justice card. Not sure if you can hear the snapping and the popping in the background, but my wood burner is going and the wood is crackling, so. The Justice card. This is the 11 card. Seems fitting that it comes after the 10 of Swords. So we know seeing 1111, spiritual, whatever. But it also, when you write it out, it looks like 2 doorways. And it's up to you which path or which door you choose. So be mindful to choose a path that doesn't lead you back to the 10 of Swords, upright. This talks about balance, yet again, that work, that home life balance. Perhaps that's been a struggle of yours lately, Aquarius. After the work, career, and finance, bottom row, we have your love and romantic relationships. Starting out with knowledge. You see all the little groups of people? They're all expanding their knowledge in one way or another. They're all learning something, taking a class, reading a book. Being stagnant and never learning new things makes you boring. And boring isn't attractive. Face your fears. You see her blindfold and how the universe is behind her. Sometimes our fears block us from seeing what the universe has in store for us. what opportunities are available to us. And other times, we might need to put on a blindfold in order to overcome our fears. But regardless, you need to do what you got to do in order to get over your fears. What is it that you're scared of? Remember, not everything ends the way the previous did. Not every relationship is going to go the way that it has in the past. Not everyone is going to hurt you like others have in the past. Not everyone is going to act or reciprocate things the same as those in the past. Then you have sensuality. You see how the overflowing rainbow is coming from her cup that she holds real tight against her heart? Where is it flowing to? It's flowing down to the Hierophant. Who is he? The Hierophant is your inner struggle about your beliefs, your dreams, your desires, your passion. He's also a reminder that you can learn from anyone. Anyone can be a teacher, and being open to that. Maybe that is your epiphany. I don't know. But following sensuality, you have epiphany. What is an epiphany? Aquarius, is it a slow energy? Is it a fast energy? An epiphany is a sudden realization or a spiritual flash of insight that often changes your perception, changes the way you look at something. It helps you to gain clarity. Perhaps you need to gain clarity in your relationship. What do you bring to the table? What does your partner bring to the table? What is no longer serving you? Perhaps it's realizing that the way you think about yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself. Perhaps you realize you've been looking for love in all the wrong places. Maybe you knew that already and you realize why. Whatever it is, this epiphany is life-changing, and that person in the card certainly does not look restricted or bogged down, weighted down by the weight of this misery, this fog, this confusion. She looks free. She looks happy. She looks like she is not restricted by anything. 2019 is going to be a fabulous year. There are so many different astrological transits that are going to be a benefit to you. Perhaps you can surrender procrastination and get ready to let go of what no longer serves you on the 20th with the full moon and the eclipse. It's a supermoon. It's a blood moon. What has made you bleed? Do you continue to bleed? Remember what we've talked about in the past, Aquarius. Those wounds that we don't heal, that are from our past, sometimes they start to bleed. Sometimes they just have a scab. But when they bleed, they end up bleeding on people who had absolutely no connection to the originality, how those originated in the first place. So perhaps enough is enough. Dig deep. Go back and heal those wounds so you can stop bleeding on your loved ones, on the people who surround you, your tribe, in the present, in the future. You just might find a newfound love for yourself. That is healing in itself. Set yourself up for the greatest potential to have an amazing, an abundant, and a loving 2019. Before I go, also I had a card from the Postcards from Spirit deck. Dearest you, did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is a freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations. See things as they really are, not how you'd like them to be. You'll be surprised at how everything seems to fall into place. When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy. You act messy, and your world stays in chaos, in tension, in disarray. But don't try to force a change or manipulate circumstances. Instead, learn about what is in front of you and face it with your eyes fully open. Then you can decide to stay or go, sink or swim, move or stay still. Acceptance is the key to freedom and opens the door to the real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Set yourself and others free. Loving you so much, always and forever. All right, Aquarius, I'll see you next month. Until then, much love.